A slow Halloween weekend. Google and Disney go to war, and Sheridan throws it in reverse. All this and so much more on this episode of Beyond the Screen. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of Beyond the Screen. I'm your host, Ryan, and with me, as always, is Jake Holtzclaw. Jake, what up, man? How you doing?
What up, man? Halloween was
I was going to make a joke about post-Halloween clarity, but we both didn't do anything with Halloween.
I did do things.
Oh, well, I didn't. I apologize.
Taylor and I, my girlfriend, doxed. Anyway,
Name drop.
So my girlfriend and I went out. So as you all know from last episode, I am actually licensed now. I don't know if I was technically licensed, but I did go to the DMV. I said, "Yo, give me that." They gave me that for like $23. So now it's on my license, but I have to get a new one mailed to me. And so they stapled my old one to a permit, or to a temporary license. Sorry, not a permit, but a temp license. And I was like, well, I'm not carrying this around. It's bulky, and like I can't really put it in my wallet. So I just put it in my glove box. We made it like all the way to the strip of the city that we were going to go. Like, she wanted to go bar hopping, and I was just going to DD, and get to the first bar, and they're carding outside the door. No, you can't even walk in without a card, your ID. And I was like, I don't have it. Like, I'm just straight up. I drove there in her car. Straight up did not have it. So I had to go back, and then I got back. They had moved on down the street. So I had got back. The parking was still good. Like, we paid for 4 hours. Like, I could just go in there and find another spot. And no other bar carded.
Oh my goodness.
And because I didn't drink, I didn't need it. So I just kind of like an hour worth of, like, because I had to go all the way to where my truck was and all the way back.
Pain.
So an hour worth of driving for no reason. So it's okay. And then after that, she had another friend who had a party on the 1st. And so we lived it up for 2 nights in a row, Friday night and Saturday night. And then Sunday, I just witnessed a wreck in the morning, and that was about it. I went shopping. And then yeah, that was it. That was my Sunday.
I can imagine like your reaction is, and I follow you. It's gonna be super animated. You saw it and you just went, and then just walked. What just went out of your way?
Well, we were in the truck. There's 2 entrances to the coffee shop we were at. It kind of makes a loop, kind of like one of those driveways. I guess I could do this. And one guy was leaving out of this one, and I was parked parallel to the road, and I was going to leave in another one. And so I started to creep forward, and this guy decided, I'm not going to wait for oncoming, and he just pulls out in front of somebody coming down the road and gets hit right on the nose. And that car just keeps going down the road, whereas like I'm almost to it. If I had been like a few seconds quicker, I probably would have been clipped. Like, that the guy had no control, and he like slid into the ditch like right after the driveway where I was at. And so I got it on camera, but because like I had already started like moving around the circle, my rear camera kind of caught it right at the edge. But I don't know. I don't want to talk about it too much, because then the insurance agents are going to find me and start asking me questions. And I already said that I had camera footage, but I'm not going to drop any names or where I was. But I did check if so. The one guy who pulled out in front of him, he was okay. He got out. He was not very happy. He wrecked his car. He was screaming profanities.
Yeah, as one probably not should,
Yeah.
but would.
And then the other guy did not get out immediately, so I did go over to see if he was all right. No airbags, evidently, which was very odd. He might have been traveling like 30 or 42. Like, it was very odd that
Malfunction.
They didn't go off.
Malfunction. Yeah.
And so when I got there, he was like, I don't know. I couldn't tell. I don't want to be like that guy, but like great acting. Like I didn't want to be that guy, but it did seem a
He was
little
adding
much,
on to it a little bit.
a little performative.
Yeah.
But because I asked him if he was all right, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm all right," and he just started like groaning louder, and I was like, "Okay, I don't know." And then the neighbors had called the cops, and so they were like walking up. He ended up getting out of the car, the guy who's groaning, and like walked around to the other side to look at the damage, still holding his neck. Lady's on the phone with the cops, and I'm like,
I,
"Time to go."
I'm out of here.
Yeah, time to go. So yep. So we hopped in the car and we left because I was not about to wait on the cleanup crew to get out of that driveway.
Yeah.
That was how my weekend went. Ryan, how was yours?
To accurately describe how my weekend went, I have to pull forward Emily from the back to join us for checking in with the guys in our small talk segment because me and Emily had the same event. November 1st, Emily, describe, if you will.
The events of November 1st. We went
Dear
to Kings
diary.
Island in Mason, Ohio, the amusement park. We had so much fun. We went with our mutual friend group, minus Jake and his girlfriend. Not the quotation marks around girlfriend, but the fact that I'm not mentioning her name like he just did. But we missed you guys and we had so much fun. We got to hang out and eat cool food and ride the Snoopy Land rides and just hang out because we don't ever get to hang out. I feel like we work together and it's so much fun, but we are missing the community. We got our lovely community and friends together this weekend and we had so much fun. So
Twas a blast. Yeah, we
that was
were.
my perspective of it. What was your perspective, Brian?
I mean,
He didn't like it.
the exact
You're like,
same.
yeah.
No, no, no. It was the exact
Not my
same.
jam.
It was a great time. I mean, we got to spend the day at like, and the thing is that like most of the time when I'm out and about, usually it's like for work or something. Like it's always doing something else, like project, or I'm at like I work for the place that I work. They have events on the weekends, so it's like a lot of the time if I'm out and about on the weekend, which is frequently, if not almost all the time, it's never for something that's enjoying that I get to just straight up relax, right? So
Right.
it was fun. It was a good time. Got to ride some roller coasters and got to chill out within Snoopy Land. And so it was a good time. Good time.
It was fun. Yeah, we got a good mix of both.
Yes, yes, yes. And with that,
I
oh,
also
sorry. Go ahead, Emily. Go ahead.
got to see Back to the Future on Thursday for the first time in theaters because I wasn't alive when it came out in theaters for the first time. Yeah, but anyway, so that was a lot of fun. And then on Thursday night, and then on Halloween night, my partner and my sister and I went um, after work. Went to a haunted house. It's called USS Nightmare. It's in Newport. It's right next to Cincinnati. And then after that, we went to a like a nighttime. It's open late, an open late sushi bar in Cincinnati. It's my favorite place to go ever in Cincinnati. So went there to get sushi, and then afterwards we came home and we ate these Halloween cookie snacks that my mom makes. They're called haystacks. It's basically like little pretzels with white chocolate melted over. It looks like little spiders and she puts little eyes on
Mm.
top. And we watched Scary Movie 3
Oh,
and it was a blast.
good choice. Good
And
choice.
then Sunday, and then I hung out with you guys, and it was just a great time. So I've had a lovely Halloween weekend. I hope you guys have had a Halloween weekend. I hope everyone has had a good Halloween weekend. Thank you, and good night.
Well, before you go, hold on. She
Oh,
left. She's
she
back.
left.
She's back.
She's back.
Before we go on to, because I want you to say there one for our micro segment that we're about to hop into, but secondarily, there's a piece of film news that I don't necessarily add to our stuff because I don't want to do the deep dive, and we're not a gossip channel. But I do feel like if we don't mention it, we will be like, I don't know. I feel like we're ignoring news that could be just fun small talk. You all hear about Millie Bobby Brown? You guys hear about that? You guys see what happened with Millie Bobby Brown this past week?
And that what you
And
sent today?
Yeah, yeah, or was it yesterday? So like I don't know. Did you guys read up on that? Did you see anything? I didn't
I
read
didn't
I
like
read
just
anything.
too in depth.
it was the harassment claims that apparently before filming their last season that she had filed pages and pages, quote, of like harassment claims or whatever.
Yeah.
Not sexual harassment, but harassment
Yes.
and bullying,
What do
which
we?
I feel like is crazy. A lot of people in the comments, half the people in the comments was divided. 50% of people were saying so a lot of them were male, I guess. and we're saying, not gonna lie, she does seem like a pretentious white kid that's gonna complain a lot. And then half the other people were like, you're just being a man, not to bring that into this, but that's what the comments were saying. If a person is gonna go through the time to write pages and pages of like a claim, then it's got to be serious. That's what the comment said. In case you guys haven't watched it or seen it or read around, that's what I read. So
Again, we're not a gossip channel, but because it's so big in the film news, if we didn't like mention that we did see it, I feel like we're not being true to ourselves as a film pod.
yeah,
So I literally have no opinion on it other than like I know like I have the facts, I guess, and that's such a like not really facts, but whatever was said. David Arbor has kind of a colorful past with his ex and that whole thing with like the maltreatment and that weird gossipy stuff. Apparently, because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, but Brown, she did this right after the release of the." Apparently, she filed it before season 5 even filmed, but it wasn't like it didn't get reported on until now. So I don't know. I have literally no opinion about it, other than I just think it's interesting, and I was curious what you guys thought. I just think that it's a whole lot of hoopla, and if
crazy to do that to someone that you work so closely with, and also
yeah,
someone pointed out that they're still following each other on social media. So I don't follow people when I write 50 pages of harassment claims about them, but I don't know.
yeah, my real opinion is if it's genuinely what happened, like it's awful. I mean, but then again, it's Hollywood, and notoriously most people in Hollywood aren't great people. So
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like it's more like what? Like anyway, Jake, any thoughts? Just quick. No.
I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it.
Again, the only reason it's brought up is because I don't think we'd be true to a film pod if we didn't say, "Hey, we've seen that."
Yeah.
But we're not.
I like to know both sides and
Yes.
actually
Me
have,
too. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not
'cause
here
I have
to
no idea.
we're not here to talk
Yeah.
gossip again. I know I've said that 3 times, but we're not a gossip channel. We're not a gossip show, but being genuine
We're
to ourselves.
acknowledging it.
Yes,
We are
yes.
Stay
acknowledging
tuned.
the
That's a
film.
new. That's a new.
Coming up after the break, we talk
Yeah.
Billy Bobby Brown. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Emily was her eyes lit up like, "Where's the graphic? Where's the graphic?"
What
Yeah.
did he want to
Yeah.
say?
No,
We're splitting
I didn't
off
make that
the
one.
gossip side.
yeah. Beyond the Screen talks gossip. No, but
Yeah, beyond the screen gossip.
in all seriousness,
Beyond
what are we
gossip.
drinking? Our quick micro segment before our first big segment, which is always box office news. We all talk for the uninitiated what caffeinated beverage or what beverage in general we all partake in to get us through the night of recording every Monday night. So, Emily, start us off, kick us off. What are we drinking this fine afternoon?
Thank you, friends, for asking. I'm going to set the record straight here because my lovely co-host, when they took over for me when I've been missing the past couple of weeks, didn't get my drink name right. So I'm going to say it loud and clear. This is black hazelnut coffee. I drink it almost every Monday night. I'm drinking it once again, even though before I was drinking a peach Celsius. So
Gingerbread
passing
tea,
it to
got
you,
it.
Jake.
Gingerbread tea, got it. Jake.
Mm-mm.
Starbucks double shot energy
Okay.
caramel edition.
Man,
Yummy.
It's actually probably the best Starbucks thing I've had ever. Very
living the
surprising.
life. Money bags
That's
over here.
delicious. Where are you getting
Dollar General. So very
Okay.
cheap.
When did
Good to
Dollar
know.
General get bougie?
Bougie. It's still cheap, dog.
Dollar General with the Starbies? I don't remember growing
Can.
up with I don't remember growing up with Starbies being even in can form at the Dollar General. What are you talking
Anyway,
about?
I mean-
Anyway,
Passing it to you, Ryan.
a classic
With the
Okay.
straw.
with the straw.
That's crazy. Why you got this straw in it?
I have my
upside down?
reasons. I have my reasons.
All right.
I maybe I just
He likes the straw.
I like the straw. It's convenient and it's just just one of those, and you've got what you need, all the caffeine in the world. But we're back with the classic. This is the still the pomegranate and blueberry. I don't only drink this. It just happens that this is like on my rotation, and every Monday or so I drink this one. So tomorrow it'll be like the citrusy.
Hmm.
Sorry for that dead air. I am sick again. By the way, I don't know how this keeps happening, but I keep getting sick. So I have to, every now and then you'll see me lean out of frame and just hack my lungs up because I'm dying. But in all seriousness, our first segment, at long last, or I should say that ends, or what are we drinking? I see the graphic up. I'm sorry, Emily. But at long last, our first segment, as always, is box office news. We go over the results from this past week's top 5 and beyond, of which were Black Phone 2 and Regretting You, which flipped at the very last minute, Black Phone 2 pulling out in front, followed by Chainsaw Man, then K-Pop Demon Hunters, a Netflix original, popping back into the top 5, and we round out our top 5 with Begonia. We're going to go back to the top, and we're going to go through the numbers and give you a deeper dive into these box office results. Finishing first. Oh, controversial.
My apologies.
Okay, in controversial results,
Did
apparently.
Ryan say
What did
something?
I say? Anyway, finishing first is the steady sailing Black Phone 2 from Blumhouse and Universal after earning 8.3 domestically. You might be saying 8.3 is not a lot, and you'd be right. Stick with us, and we'll go through that a little bit later. The Ethan Hawke and Mason Thames starring sequel horror flick is also beat for beat with the earnings from the first film through 2 weeks at the box office. The film has earned $104 million on a $30 million budget, so it's already in the black after 2 weeks, even if it is, again, steady sailing. It's not like it's doing what The Conjuring did earlier this year, but good effort in its second week from Black Phone 2. A rare second week jump in the box office. Colleen Hoover's latest adaptation, Regretting You, finishes the Halloween weekend second at the box office after earning $7.8 million. Last week, I believe it finished third. It jumps back up to 2 in its second week after earning just under $8 million. The film has pulled in over $50 million globally on a $30 million budget, so that's another film that's about to get into the black, even on a slow Halloween weekend. Finishing third is Chainsaw Man, the movie from Sony and Crunchyroll. The film earned 6.2 in its second weekend, pushing its global tally to 129.9 million on a modest budget, and modest budget is, putting it very lightly, of 4.1 million. This is a film that is absolutely killing it. Yeah, Jake put up the itty bitty sign. Very small budget for a film that's absolutely raking in the dough. Despite dropping 66% from last week to this week in ticket sales, the Daily's newsletter points out that this is still a strong second week for a genre of film that is anime, that usually sees fans front load a box office run during the first week. So anime fans, they will usually flock to the box office in the week 1 or 2. And so that's where you see the majority of the run kind of hit, is in the first week, maybe 2 weeks. So a 66% drop for any other genre is terrible, but for anime is actually pretty good. So we still see Chainsaw Man doing pretty good by the numbers. Finishing fourth is Netflix K-Pop Demon Hunters after earning $5.3 million on the weekend. The re-release pushes the theatrical release of the streaming hit to a $24.3 million domestic total. While this number might not be huge, remember, Netflix is only putting K-Pop Demon Hunters into theaters to squeeze more revenue from a film that has more than already earned back its $100 million plus production budget from the streaming platform alone. So they're literally throwing this into theaters just to squeeze as much of that out as possible. Don't let that $24.3 million mark after however many weeks in theaters fool you. This is still a very profitable film. And lastly, finishing fifth in its second weekend in theaters, mind you, this is its first wide release in theaters, is the Yorgos Lanthimos directed Begonia after earning $5 million on the weekend. The film has earned $11 million globally on a $55 million budget. Although the film has received strong critical acclaim, moviegoers just aren't taking to the art house film starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. They're just not going. So a film that still has a lot of ways to go. This is probably a Oscar campaign waiting to happen. So maybe they don't need it, but you can only put so much into campaigns. So we'll see where this goes. Other news from around the box office before we kind of give our two cents. Back to the Future finishes 6th in its 40th anniversary re-release. Springsteen and Tron Ares both fall from the top 5. Now, here we go from what I was saying earlier. This weekend's box office brought in $55 million in total. The lowest total for a Halloween holiday weekend in 31 years. A terrible weekend at the box office for all films involved and for Hollywood during the Halloween weekend, which usually sees a giant, think slasher films, usually they release around this time. Didn't do anything this week. Now, granted, it was slower in terms of what was released. But anyway, Jake, what do you think about the box office in the top 5 and beyond?
I blame Trunk or Treats. Ryan,
hit me with it. Sorry,
crazy.
you couldn't hear that. You couldn't hear that, but I definitely was dying.
Trunk or Treats. I blame Trunk or Treats. Man.
That is not what I was anticipating.
I don't know. I don't know what to blame it on other than like the movies are kind of meh, right? Like there's nothing like, super big. Now, no, there's not even something next week either. And there's not even like in terms of like a slasher, like you would expect. Dude, I don't even know what would. I mean, Jason, like, I don't know. I don't know if
This
there's any slashers out there that are actually getting big and popular like the cult
uh
classics, which
Terrifier. I mean, that one is
yeah,
kind of the present
it's getting
day.
bigger.
Yeah, that the thing is, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the Halloween season has slowly died. Like, it's just not as when we were kids, it was like the deal, right? And maybe
Yeah.
obviously change of perspective from childhood to like adulthood. But like, I can remember even being like 18, like going like right as I'm going to college when Halloween was rolling
Dude,
around.
that was forever ago.
Halloween season when I'm like a senior in high school. I remember like having to like turn off the light because like we didn't have candy that one year because we were doing like most of my family was like gone, so it was just me and
Yeah.
my brother at the house, and we just didn't have candy. So it was like I remember they were knocking nonstop even though the light was off. Like that was and since then though, now granted I was in college or at like an apartment, but like where I live right now in my apartment, there's a ton of kids around. Like there's like families. No
Yeah.
knocking, nothing this year or even last year.
No, I find that like apartments don't really get the same treatment.
No, but
I
I guess,
feel like they take them elsewhere.
but I mean, like, think about like besides Spirit Halloween, you would have like Walmart would go to the nine with all this Halloween
Yeah.
stuff. This all wraps back around, but the idea of like Halloween is dying in favor of, dare I say, Thanksgiving and especially Christmas. Like Christmas is slowly seeping up further and further in this calendar year. So I don't know. It is really upsetting because your point, there's not anything in theaters for people to go. Yes, Black Phone 2's there, but it's in its second weekend. People have already seen it. Why would people go to theaters if there's nothing to see? Emily has joined us.
Here's maybe a not so hot take. Maybe don't release all of the horror movies and the scary movies until like the season of like Halloween. Because here you're releasing all of your scary movies in like June and July. They're releasing Five Nights at Freddy's in December. It's like you don't have anything to like look forward to. You're just seeing Halloween movies being trickled throughout the year.
Yeah, it's becoming less of
I'm
a
just like I'm not
seasonal.
gonna be in the mood to see a Halloween movie in July.
I wonder if that's because I think that's a good point. People like horror outside of October. So I wonder if the growth of the genre, especially in the last decade where there's been a kind of a renaissance of horror films, like there was a time where horror was considered dead, right? Like you had the every now and then like the Terrifiers or the It's coming out, but it was few and far between until closer to 2020, to be honest. So I wonder if the genre popping off and the youth, us and beyond, young millennials, Gen Alpha, where they're enjoying horror films year round, maybe that's where we see more releases outside of October. And so the season's not as oversaturated with Halloween films. So, like, and then on top of it, because it's not so much just an October thing, you have less chains selling. It's just interesting. I find it fascinating because it just does not feel like it has the same, not just because we're an adult, obviously that plays a part in it, but like the season just doesn't feel like it has that same oomph. You know, December rolls around and you're like, Christmas is everywhere. Does not matter. You can't avoid it. It's on the radio. Like it is in every song when you go to Walmart, it is on Walmart radio. If you are in Walmart, you see everything's decorated. Was not that way this October.
Did you go to Walmart?
Of course, I go shopping.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know because I don't shop at Walmart regularly, so I didn't see. That was so funny. I wish you guys could have heard that. Anyway,
Talking about
but
me?
yeah, yeah, because you kind of just made a noise and did like a side.
Well, I don't think it. I mean, I'm muting, so
I know you are, but I hear it.
Oh,
I
that's
think it's
funny.
so funny.
Oh, that's funny.
But I don't go to Walmart very often, and so I didn't know if they were still dressing the place up, and apparently not. But I think it's also partly because of the like social media use and people like dress up normally for content, I guess
Mm,
technically now.
mm.
Everything's at our fingertips. We're not really like
Cosplayers.
surprised or like we're not you used to be able no, well, you used to not be able to dress up very often and everybody's like not chill with it or understand what you're doing. Like if you dressed up, you're a weirdo. Now, if you're dressed up in public and you at the very least have your phone out or you're talking to the camera, oh, it's an influencer or whatever. Or like we see so many different people dressed up and putting on an act on social media that it might be the reason why like Halloween is not crazy big right now is because it's like there's not much difference besides there's still candy, I guess, and that's why I mentioned the trunk or treats because I've seen a lot of people saying that like the influx of children on like the street actually trick or treating is slim, right? Even our buddy Matt, who's been on the show, had said like there's not a lot of kids compared to other years, and I've been seeing a lot of people just say it's because churches and schools have these trunk or treats, which are arguably safer than having kids walk around alone. Um, but like, why would I walk around when they got trunks full of full size candy bars I can grab handfuls of? And but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I think it's a multitude of factors that go into why Halloween is failing. But in terms of cinema and film, it is likely what uh, Emily said, where we really you didn't really come out with a new thing released on this weekend. You
Yeah.
came out with Black Phone 2 early, Begonia technically early.
But that's not really a Halloween film. Begonia is just an art house film about some dude
Right.
who thinks this lady's a bug queen. Like it's not even really like scary. I guess like
Yeah.
the reason we bring all this up is because the falling of Halloween, or like Halloween becoming less of a prevalent force in terms of holidays spent, is obviously influenced or has influenced or is currently influencing the lack of horror films during the season. So
Mm.
that's why we reference it, and that's why it's something that we kind of harp on. I think that's a good point to jump off and to round out this segment with the all reliable, the as always poorly predicted prediction special. Usually we lead with this, and I kind of forgot, but we're going to go over last week. So as you could see, Jake and I were again very off. These last few weeks have been pretty rough, to say the least. We both got one correct. The one I got correct was Begonia at 5, and Jake's was Chainsaw Man at 3. The rest we were completely inaccurate on, unfortunately. And our predictions goes as follow from this past week. We had Jake had Begonia 1, Black Phone 2 at number 2, Chainsaw Man at 3, any of the Twilights at 4, which is a hilarious statement.
And it missed.
It did miss, and Back to the Future at 5, which he was so close with Back to the Future at 5.
Less
And
than 100.
so close.
Yeah.
Then I had Chainsaw Man at 1, Back to the Future at 2, Black Phone at 3, Twilight at 4, and Begonia at 5. And so, not a great week last week. Not a great week at all. But that doesn't mean we can't turn our luck around this week. So, who will be next to get on the scoreboard? Right now, I lead 1-0 on the season in predictions. We 1-0 is kind of a sad score when we're on episode like 35 of 52. But you know what? Here we are. We're not doing any of this with forecasts in mind. We're literally just eyeballing it and going, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
maybe.
So, Jake, lead us off here. You're batting first in the order. Tell us your top 5.
I'm batting first. We're gonna guess the same things here to the 4 and 5. Okay, so I'll go through kind of what's releasing or what the heck matters this weekend. So I'm seeing a comedy called Lost and Found in Cleveland. I got June Squibb, Martin Sheen. Have not heard a lick about that. What else we got? We got Predator Badlands. That's probably the biggest thing you'll see come out this weekend. That is my number one, just because I think that there's a lot of Predator lovers out there, and it's just like the newest thing. And so, yeah, I said it. Anyway,
Controversial corner!
it's not.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. There we go.
Caught her off guard.
Continue. I'm sorry.
And then I saw some people talking about Sarah's Oil, but it's a limited release and it's through Amazon MGM Studios. It's a biography drama history. I don't know if it's going to do big things at all. I just saw some people talking about how it could possibly be worth watching. I'm like, okay, all right. Some biography drama history thriller war called Nuremberg. Literally, that is all of the genres that it has underneath it: biography, drama, history, thriller, war.
Yeah.
It's a wide release from Sony. And then we got Die My Love, which is a limited movie. Third time talking about movie on here. That is the Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson movie that it's actually kind of excites me. I love a Robert Pattinson, so I'm wondering.
I love
But
Robert Pattinson.
it is a limited release, and I don't want to get burned. So I put it in my top 5 because I don't learn. I've got Predator Badlands at 1, like I said. Regretting You at 2, which has got number 2 this week. I think Black Phone 2 will drop significantly. I think it was propped up by Halloween. It dropped 50%, then it only dropped 35%. I foresee a 50 to 60% drop on that. I don't know why I put Regretting You above it, but I've got Black Phone 2 at 3. And then I've got Die My Love, regardless of release. I'm going to take the chance. And then I've got Chainsaw Man at 5 because I think Chainsaw Man is cool. And that's my reasoning. It's not very logical this go around just because box office sucks right now.
It does, and that does not make our job easy. In fact, I didn't copy your homework, but it sure does look like I did. Because Jake, excuse me, was right. I copied everything except for 4. And I won't even lie, I kind of missed Die My Love. I forgot that was the Lawrence and...
It's still limited.
Yeah, it is still limited, but I think that one has you're probably right on that being in the top 5. I just completely missed it. I also have Predator Badlands, Regretting You, and Black Phone 2, 1 through 3. I just think I trust in tried method, right? Tried and true method. Slide everything down. If you have something that you know is going to be 1, don't worry about the others. Just put them in the order they're in, because more often than not, that's when you're going to get 2 or 3 correct. Or in my case, I got 5 out of 5 one week. I got really lucky by doing that exact thing. So I think Badlands is going to take off because of how Prey did, and it's got the same director, Thatchenberg. I think it's going to be such a big deal. Maybe not to the extent we've seen some other blockbusters, but in terms of what we've seen the last few weeks, it's going to be a big deal. Then I just slid everything else down. I don't foresee Regretting You falling to Black Phone. I think those two are staying side by side. I think Begonia is going to stay there. The only reason Begonia moved up to 4 is because K-pop Demon Hunters won't be there. So I think Begonia will stay about the same. And then I think Chainsaw Man will drop far. If anything, we've seen that Chainsaw Man is the one to drop in terms of money, because less and less fans are going to see it, especially in week 3 when it dropped 66% in week 2. So I think now, if Die My Love is a true limited run, then we will see it nowhere near this. However, we've been burned on that before, so I'm going to continue with Regretting You, Black Phone 2, Begonia, and then Chainsaw Man drops, and everything else just kind of stays the same, all sliding down to Predator Badland. Any thoughts, Sir Claw?
I don't know, man. I really think it lies with Die My Love for you. If it turns out to perform, then I think you're screwed. But I don't know. That's pretty much it. I mean, it is not a good box office week. Next week either. Let's see how far ahead we can look here. Looking at the 14th next week, we got The Running Man, Glenn Powell, Josh Brolin. I think that one's gonna knock Predator out of the water, personally. And then a limited release of Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I feel like that's gonna be huge, but the limited release makes me think it's that this particular weekend it will not be huge. And that's it.
I already see the 2 films that will control the box office, and it's going to feel like we're talking about. Remember last year when we started the pod, which we're almost at our year anniversary, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We get started, and for the next 3 months, thank you. For the next 3 months, we talked about 1 film and then an animated film after it, and that animated film in the second place, like flip-flop every other week, right? Wicked for Good comes out November 21st.
It does.
We're going to be talking about Wicked, and then Zootopia 2 the next weekend. We're just going to be talking about Disney and Wicked for the rest until probably the end of the season in March when we watch the Oscars. Yeah. So, man, oh man, this is going to be interesting.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in early December.
Yes, I think that one will be
and
one.
And then Jujutsu Kaisen, same weekend.
There's going to be a battle. I'm excited for December. I think, can you imagine
First
December?
weekend of December is going to be crazy.
December, that first weekend of December, we're going to have Wicked for Good, Zootopia 2, JJK, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2 all.
So 2 weekends before. So Wicked for Good is the 21st of November.
Yes.
Then you've got Zootopia 2 on the next weekend. So Wicked's going to be on top that prior. Zootopia is going to come in and they're going to battle for the top spot 1 and 2. And then we've got a little hiatus. And then first weekend of December, we've got Jujutsu Kaisen and Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Those are going to be your top 5 first weekend of December. Guaranteed.
Well, there's a lot.
Let's not predict 2 months in advance.
No, but all I'm saying is we're looking forward to the rest of the year. Running Man, Now You See Me. I'm looking at, there's a re-release for The Boy and the Heron. There's The Rental Family, which is the next Brendan Fraser film.
Heron?
Yeah, is that not what it is? The Boy.
It's a heron.
Boy
it's a bird.
Heron. The Rental Family. We have the sequel to Sizu, Wicked for Good, Zootopia 2, Hamnet, Eternity. There's the Beatles anthology. There's the I don't know, another Benedict Cumberbatch, The Thing with Feathers film. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming out late this year that we've not talked about on top of everything else that we have. So this could be a good end of year, I feel like. The box office is going to have a quick turnaround come late November, early December. But anywho, that is a great place to jump off our first segment. Oh, Emily's here before we leave.
I totally forgot to mention this. Oh, wait, first of all, I didn't put the right graphic up. This was the predictions graphic. So compare that to what you see on the ticker there at the bottom. So that's their last weekend's prediction to this weekend's predictions.
Mm.
And then this, of course, is the actual results. So that's my bad. But also, I wanted to share really quick before we get off of here that my friends went and saw Black Phone 2 this past weekend and really did not like it. Ryan and I were just talking about how he has seen reviews for it and they're like not one way or the other. Like, people are just like going and seeing it. Like, obviously it's second in the box office right now, so people are enjoying it. But I wanted to share this picture that I'm about to upload here of my friend who went and saw Blackbone, and this was his reaction after he saw it.
Oh, honest take for our audio
Crazy.
listeners. He's standing outside of a theater, and this guy is pointing to the poster of Black Phone 2, and he's got his finger in his mouth, like, ugh. He's like making like the sick
Puking.
face. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Luke, for that visual. But I thought that was interesting. That was a very intense reaction. They were just saying like the script sounded like it was written by AI. It was very cringy. The acting was very fake and very cringy. They just absolutely despised it, and they do not like film. They're not very involved in the music industry, so it was very strange to hear them say that. But yet, it's still at a very stable level in the box office. So that's just what I wanted to pop on for before I forgot, because this would be the only way to. Otherwise, enjoy, and I will see you guys for the rest of the show.
Thank you, Emily, for that insight. And I think that's a great place to jump off. So, coming up after the break, Google and Disney's carrier war, and Taylor Sheridan did what? Coming up next. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Screen. You've made it to segment 2, the long-awaited segment 2 after our extended segment 1, in which case we go over the 2 major stories from this past weekend. We're going to go and hop right into our first story here. Disney and Google enter a carrier dispute right after Disney makes a massive acquisition of Fubo TV. Now, you might be wondering, why are these things connected? Like, Fubo, a random sports outlet, like live television service out of New York. Yes, I've heard of Disney or the Google and Disney and YouTube TV problem, because you're probably one of the 1 in 10 million people who subscribe to the service. Hold on. I might be putting on a bit of a tinfoil hat here, but I think they're connected, and it's strictly because of timing. Let me paint you this picture. So again, if you're one of the 1 in 10 million YouTube TV subscribers in the US, then you already know what I'm about to talk about. However, all the channels owned by Disney, which is ABC, obviously the Disney channels, ESPN, etc., went off of YouTube TV airways before midnight on Halloween, with an emphasis on before, due to the two sides' inability to agree on a new carriage deal. So for those, again, who are uninitiated with like how that stuff works, if a place owns a channel and it's on a streaming service, so if Netflix got into the live TV game, they would have to go to Disney, they'd have to go to Fox, they'd have to go to all these different places and get carrier deals so that their platform could then carry those channels. It's like that with everything. If you watch Comcast, if you're part of Charter Spectrum, if you have any sort of like live television service, it's no longer like cable, but that sort of thing. They have carrier deals with all these same companies. Google and YouTube TV are no exception, right? Could not agree on a side. Could not agree on neither side could agree on a deal. The following day, Disney would be the first to speak on the matter, which is interesting because it was not externally, it was internally until the memo was popped out to the public. Disney Entertainment chairs Dana Walden and Alan Bergman, as well as ESPN head Jimmy Pitaro, released a joint internal memo to employees, claiming that not only did Google pull all of Disney's own content from the streaming service before their deal expired at midnight on Halloween night, but also claiming that the service deleted any and all previously recorded content from subscribers' libraries, which is that stings a little bit. That doesn't sound good. The memo continued, quote, "Their actions make clear how little regard they have for their customers and are consistent with an attitude of which has been prevalent throughout our negotiations. YouTube TV and its owner Google are not interested in achieving a fair deal with us. Instead, they want to use their power and extraordinary resources to eliminate competition and devalue the very content that helped them build their service." That last sentence especially. Eliminate competition and devalue the very content that helped them build their service. I want you to keep that in mind as we continue throughout this story. Excuse me. Prior to the memo, a Disney spokesperson explained, quote, "Google is using its market dominance to eliminate competition," again, talking about industry standards and undercut the industry in terms of we've successfully negotiated, blah, 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 right? So everyone's talking about this. Google, expectedly, did not take this lying down, quickly clapping back at the House of Mouse and outlining their own perspective, stating, quote, "Last week, Disney used the threat of a blackout on YouTube TV as a negotiation tactic to force deal terms that would raise prices on our customers." The spokesperson continued, quote, "They're now following through on that threat, suspending their content on YouTube TV. This decision directly harms our subscribers while benefiting their own live TV products, including Hulu Live Plus and Fubo." You might be asking, Fubo, again, how does Fubo have anything to do with this? How does the purchase, right? Well, that purchase of Fubo TV happened in the days leading up to the two not being able to agree on a side. Disney announced a 70% stake, a purchase of 70% stake in Fubo, and according to the LA Times, quote, "swiftly combined its Hulu Plus live TV business with the sports-focused operation." So Hulu's dying, as we all know. Any content that's streaming is going to Disney Plus. It is now being revealed that Disney's buying Fubo, and the live TV side, specifically the sports side, is going to be combined with Fubo, of which Disney now owns 70%. With the integrating of Hulu and Fubo, this creates the sixth largest, quote, pay TV service in the nation with over 6 million subscribers. This, according to the Daily's newsletter, puts Disney just behind YouTube TV's $10 million subscriber base, which, again, I think is very interesting. Not to mention, Fubo was the very same company that sued all of Disney, Fox, and Warner due to the trio's planned joint venture, Venue Sports. If you're a sports fan, you remember last year, during the summer of 24, all three of those families, so TNT, Fox Sports, and ESPN, were like, we're going to create one app that you could subscribe to and get all of our services. Fubo sued, and a federal judge blocked the streamer. The next year, Disney buys the people that sued them. The week that they're negotiating a tactic with a company that is directly in front of them in terms of live TV subscribers. In an article by The Hollywood Reporter, it was outlined how YouTube TV was in a particularly unique position, or they still are, as according to the Wall Street Journal, YouTube TV is set to continue its growth in an industry that is dying, that is live TV. Further describing how, in about a year or so, YouTube TV, if things continue going to course, will become the nation's largest TV provider. With this knowledge, Google wants a similar deal from Disney as they give to other major television providers. Think Charter and Comcast, which, again, that's Charter Spectrum and all the different types of major television providers. But Disney refused. As the hours turn to days and days into weeks, Google takes the brunt of all the missed sports and further television content now not provided by their carrier. They did say they were going to offer a 20% cash back, or there's a term they use, I can't remember, but every month they don't have the Disney assets on their provider. They're going to give subscribers 20% off It's a voucher, 20% off of every month, or $20 off of every month. So instead of it being $90, it's $70. Which,
Oh, thanks.
yeah, right.
Very generous.
Yes. What do we think of this entire situation? Who do we think blinks first? And just in general, how do we lie? Where do we lie?
I think Disney's too stubborn. I don't think I don't think they'll blink. I think Disney is notoriously stubborn, right? Um, Google, dude, my my opinion of Google comes from the Google Ads and Google Analytics. I hate those applications, man. They are
Oh, he froze. If he doesn't come back, he hates Google. Emily, are you there? Is it me that's frozen? No. Okay, so it is Jake. We've had this happen before. If he comes back, we'll bring him back. Jake was outlining his disdain for Google. And Emily, I do want your opinion on this until he gets back, but I will just say this does feel like if Star Wars, if instead of it was a rebellion, it was the Empire fighting the Empire. It was just another empire. That's what this feels like. And I have a very specific opinion on this, and I've kind of already outlined a little bit of where my train of thought goes. I have very much a tinfoil hat on, but I want to hear your perspective.
I am biased, I suppose, because I'm always going to view Disney as kind of like the rich, pretentious, it's like, but it's odd that they went out in a statement before Google did and said and had this like basic accusation. Were they not expecting them to like retaliate and to like come like it's apparently like they dug up some like dirty laundry and were like, oh, actually, if you want to play that game, they're still trying to like charge you guys more. Did they not foresee that coming before they went ahead and like aired everything out like publicly?
It really felt like internally, because the thing is that while the spokesperson outwardly said in not as many words was like, hey, they are trying to upend the standard, they said internally a lot more, and they were like, hey guys, they don't care about their subscribers, keep doing what you're doing. And this was to internal employees. This just happened to leak. So it's like Disney said all this and that, and they're like, yeah, Google sucks. And then Google was like, if we did what they wanted, our subscribers would see a price hike. And so I think what I think is happening is exactly kind of what I outlined. I think Disney buys Fubo and they loop it in with Hulu, and all of a sudden now you have a top 6 largest cable television provider just behind YouTube. Then all of a sudden you refuse to give them the deal they want on a carrier package. And if you're Disney, if you hold out, people will leave. That subscriber count will drop because they're not getting the Disney channels. They're not getting ABC. They're not getting the late nights. They're not getting the sports. That's the thing, the sports. College football's on right now. We're in what's called a sports equinox right now, where all of the sports are happening at once. It happens once a year, and it's not prevalent. Like you've got professional, like just this last week, professional baseball ended. But before this past week, you had the World Series happening while the NBA's on, while the NFL's on, the NHL started up, and college football's in the height of its season with college basketball and its exhibition games about to start. So the sports equinox is happening, and right as that happens, Disney makes a play to compete with YouTube and then immediately turns around and says, we're not doing business with you.
Out of the blue.
I really think, I'm not ignorant to the fact that negotiations don't just happen in one day. So like the negotiations probably were heated going in, but also a purchase of Fubo doesn't happen in one day. So these things are happening at the same time, right? Fubo is being negotiated by Disney to buy 70% stake in, and the negotiation with YouTube. So these things are happening. I cannot believe I'm saying this. I think Google is probably telling the truth. I think Google is probably in the right here. They probably really are trying to avoid a price hike. They probably do want, because it makes a lot of sense. If you are going to be the largest television provider or streamer in the nation, you want a deal similar to other providers of the same size. Disney, seeing that they are now competing with them and that they want to be better than them, why would they agree? So I find this fascinating, because this seems like an obvious ploy to try to pull subscribers. Because also, you got to think too, Disney doesn't just now have what will just be called Fubo that had all the Hulu Lives plus sports, right? They have their ESPN app that they just released, where you pay $300 a year and you get all the sports and premium shows. If you don't want them on YouTube, You don't provide it to YouTube. You just say go get it on
Right.
go get it on Fubo or go subscribe to the ESPN app.
That's it.
I think this is a sadistically genius plan from Disney. I think they're doing it on purpose. The only way Google can get that back is if they can find a way to hold on to their subscribers for long enough that it starts to hurt Disney. If Disney starts to notice that their viewer base on their channels, like say ESPN sees a massive decline in viewership because 10 million people are no longer turning into ESPN the channel because they don't get it on their cable provider, then they might turn around and say, okay, let's make a deal. But
I do not foresee that actually like happening though. It's like very, very rarely can I ever see like Disney being like calling uncle and being like, okay, guys, like and giving up.
I'm fascinated by this because I really feel like they want Fubo and now their live TV to be on par with YouTube, and they do not want YouTube. I mean, this is straight up like manipulating the market. This is straight up what this is.
Yeah.
And I find that fascinating.
It's so petty though. It seems so petty. It's like a he said, she said kind of thing.
Yeah.
Here they were like, oh well, basically we can't do it because of these reasons. Google sucks, and then Google's like, oh, well, actually, here's the truth. They're trying to screw you over. It's just this petty back and forth thing. I'm just curious to see how it all will play out.
What if, now hear me out here, ESPN, because this is majority about sports. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Excuse me. Sorry. I am still sick. I'm trying to make it through the episode.
I'm also sick.
Google is not powerless, as we've described, but I just thought of a specific hypothetical. If things get bad enough, if Disney's like, nah, we're not playing ball, you have to take our thing and raise your subscriber base prices, or we're not doing anything. Google is obviously not just YouTube. It is also a search engine that people go to find a lot of their stuff. If they manipulated their like results tab after you hit Google and you hit search and ESPN does not pop up, all of a sudden it's strictly Fox Sports and it's TNT Sports and it's all the competition. That is a very big hypothetical, but who's to say that they wouldn't do that in response? Oh, you can't now. All of a sudden, ESPN's not on Google.
That would be dirty. I don't even know if you could do that.
Well, I don't think that's the first time Google's ever censored or not put something in like research or like the search results. But
really,
I don't think that's the first time they've done that at all. I now again, this is super like tinfoil hat. I don't have any other.
Yeah.
I have no reason to like or no evidence to prove that, but I doubt that's the first time they would have done that. This would just be the first time if they have done that before. This would be the first time that they're going to be like open about it. They're like, screw you guys. Like, you just won't get subscribers from our search bar. Like, you just have people will have to go to Bing to find ESPN, which would be, whoa, that would be insane. Because like now. Okay, go ahead, Emily. Go ahead.
That's like the level we're on, though. That's like the level of petty. Like, there's the whole.
Yeah.
What was it called? Like it went dark. It went dark or whatever. They made it go dark. They're gossiping about each other like online. It's like this like sibling fight.
Yeah.
I can totally see them doing something like that.
I think Jake has just re-entered the chat. There he is. I think there's
why it happens.
No, it's okay.
Last week too. Very odd. They know. They're like, this guy.
Yeah. Boop,
Killed the
pushes
internet.
the button.
Killed the internet.
That's awesome.
Like, oh man, this guy's pushing a lot of gigs.
Get him out of here. It just
Get
hits
him out of here.
Ejection button.
It's the program's own controversial corner button.
Yeah, but no, we were talking about, Jake, just to catch you up very quickly, the tinfoil hattedness of if Disney does not allow YouTube or Google to have their services as a specifically sports venture, because that's the biggest hit, right? Does Google turn around and say, you just will not be returning on our search results then when people Google Disney or ESPN? Like we're going down the rabbit hole of what could Disney or what could Google do in response to Disney, because Disney obviously, it seems like a market manipulation tactic of them trying to upend YouTube as they are now making a subscriber base with live TV that now competes with YouTube TV, right? So before we hop off of this first story and we go into our next one, what do you think Google's options are other than just bending the knee?
I don't know. Well, buy Disney.
Oh, Google just buys Disney. Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it.
Given the
or
given the environment that we've seen recently, where everyone's trying to buy each other, I wouldn't be
or
surprised if I
they
saw that
dude they
next.
put in for Warner Bros. That's what Google
Can-
buys Warner
Yeah.
Bros.
That would actually
Yeah.
be crazy. Can you imagine? And I had this
Yeah.
thought too. It's like, what if, and like wildest dreams, what if Google just starts its own like ESPN style of show and they just replace? But also, it's like going off of Warner Brothers. Can you imagine like Bob Iger and all them, like all the Disney execs walk into a room and they're like, they're gonna try to convince us to raise our prices, but we're not gonna do it. And Google turns around and is like, how much to buy you? Like I just find that so
It can't
funny.
be that much.
It's straight up like Austin Powers, like the dude, 1 million. It's just like, I'll pay whatever. It's like the guy just turns around. I think that's so funny. But anyway, I think this is a great point to hop off of our first story in our second segment. Thank you, Emily, for making an appearance. And Jake, tell your internet provider to
Sorry.
stop hitting the eject button.
We have the same internet provider. That's what's crazy.
I know. I don't have these problems. That's crazy. And you definitely have better internet than I do, which is what's wild. Anywho,
I just have faster internet. I don't know if it's better.
faster than me, but excuse me, hold on.
We might be running coax through here, so
Right.
you might have fiber. That might be different. I ain't got fiber here, so there is like
Yeah.
crash course, everybody, from the IT guy. IT Jake's coming out. If you have coax, you share with the whole building. It don't matter what you're paying for. Like
I'm
the
sorry.
bandwidth is shared. Fiber, direct line. It's literally speed of light, and you get your own little lane on that freeway. Coax, you're sharing it, and it sucks. So when moving into an apartment or a house, see if you have fiber.
Fiber.
It makes a world of difference.
We have fiber, and it's probably it. Thank you, IT Jake.
You're welcome.
Despite having just signed an agreement to join industry rival NBC Universal, Taylor Sheridan and longtime collaborator Peter Berg have signed on to create the Call of Duty adaptation for Paramount. And I made the joke, and I was like, Jake, should I leave it in the beginning? And Jake was like, run it. Taylor Sheridan put it in reverse. He's like Terry in here. Put it in reverse, Terry. He threw that thing back the second that this was offered. Oh, less than a week after he leaves Paramount, he's like, I'm coming back. He literally MJ in 96. I'm back. Going on to the story. Sheridan and Berg reunite after creating four-time Oscar nominee Hell or High Water and cult classic Wind River. Berg of Lone Survivor and Deepwater Horizon and Friday Night Light fame will co-write with Sheridan and direct. Both Berg and Sheridan will pen the script as well as produce alongside David Glasser and his production company 101 Studios. That's the same studio behind Sheridan's Yellowstone series and more. This is the first film Sheridan has produced for Paramount since Hell or High Water back in 2016. This project adds a major notch on the belt of a creator in Hollywood who essentially has a flawless resume. Sheridan does not have a bad project on his belt right now. And now he gets to create arguably the most notable and recognizable video game franchise of all time. According to Empire, sorry, what were you going to say, Jake?
Mind you, he is I said this last week, right? That he's 7 for 7,
Yes.
right? So it is kind of interesting to see him going after the Call of Duty movie. So I don't know. That's all I really have to say right now.
Keep on that because I do have I have an opinion on that, and I'm actually excited. This is actually a positive story. According to Empire, Paramount had its sights set on the Sheridan and Berg duo for their Call of Duty adaptation, and because of their various projects together for a long time. Paramount's like, hey, we've seen your work. We know what you can do. You guys are going to do it. And they immediately signed on. But they used not only as reference, I should say, they used the pair's ability not only to adapt worlds, but also how they handle what Empire called geopolitical thrillers. So using those as like proof of concepts when trying to find the creators for Call of Duty, they said, you guys can do it. And I agree. As things stand with Sheridan and NBC Universal, a big reason why the Yellowstone creator left his now former-ish employer is due in part to how they were reluctant in giving the creator more to do on the film side. And Jake, you described a little bit more last week too, as if he just Sheridan, I should say, did not seem to enjoy particularly the new regime and how the Ellisons ran the business. He didn't seem like
Mhm.
things were being changed behind his back, and there were a lot of like gossipy rumors being thrown around as to why Sheridan left. But the big one was that Universal was willing to give him film, and Paramount did not seem at the time that they were very interested in that. And well, now here he is doing the Call of Duty. It seems the Ellison and the rest of Paramount, however, had one more card up their sleeve, and that is, again, Call of Duty. In terms of what we could see from the COD film or franchise, if it goes beyond that in its storyline, could we see a true adaptation from Activision's legendary video game series? Or will the new creator tell an entirely new narrative built on within this world? We don't know. We know nothing about the story. That's it. We know these creators are very gritty. We know that they are not afraid to, they don't blink when it comes to telling very graphic elements, right? And that's really what Call of Duty is built on is the modern warfare, right? Like is the idea of like war never sleeps regardless of what era you're in. So I'm fascinated with how Berg and Sheridan will go about, and Glasser, but well, on that point. So Jake, what do we think about Sheridan being pulled back into Paramount? What do we hope to see from this adaptation? And with what we know,
I foresee uh, he's probably going to get his toes stepped on again, and he didn't learn his lesson. I'm surprised he went back because it seemed like he had a pretty. I mean, it wasn't a heated like falling out, but like he just didn't seem happy at all, which is the reason that he had left. So I'm uh, very surprised he went back. But maybe he's like super passionate about the Call of Duty franchise, and that's like why. I don't know. I have no idea. um, I hope that it's somewhat successful, but if Activision or whomever's kind of going to be in charge of that is probably going to be wanting to. They ruined Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty is not the same, and everybody's hating on it for Battlefield 6 and now Arc Raiders, a little bit of uh, video game. Um, what am I looking for? Knowledge there of what's out right now, and COD is just. I just saw an ad for Black Ops 7. Black Ops 7.
yeah, there's nothing
Are you
original.
kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I would
Like,
love. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know. I was gonna make a Fast and Furious joke, but I think it's a given if I just mention that Fast and Furious and how many numbers there are. But I don't
I
know. I started on 2 and we're on 7, and I remember stopped playing Call of Duty like in deep enveloped in like Black Ops 3. And that shows my age to all the youngsters out there that like I really stopped playing Black Ops 2. I think the last thing I touched was Infinite Warfare.
in which we went on like an
Yeah.
Oogle fest about how much we love those games. I won't even lie. I really think there's only one of all the franchises. Yes, there are a lot of really good games. I don't think the early ones are good enough in terms of a story because they were really just about the warfare. Like, oh, I'm thinking Finest Hour and like the original
Yeah.
Worlds at War, right? They're not; those aren't good enough in terms of story to adapt. Although they probably will adapt them anyway. There's only
Yeah.
one tried and true story that I think actually should get adapted, and it's Modern Warfare. I think that is the only one. I do think spoilers for Modern Warfare if you haven't played the game. Yuri should not be the guy that's like known to Makarov that like gets soap killed. It should be Nikolai because he's been there from the beginning, and I think that'd be a crazy twist. Is like he was actually a double agent, but he really is on your. Anyway, sidebar, side tangent.
I
But
didn't play that one,
all I'm
which
saying is that if Sheridan goes that route, he will have a flawless story because it makes more
yeah.
sense that way. But that is the one storyline that actually has a conclusive beginning and a conclusive end, right? You see everything Makarov as the villain who trains under I can't think of the original villain's name in the first Modern Warfare, but I would love for that to be where we go. If it's Modern Warfare, you only do 3. You do Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, and that's it.
I thought you were literally gonna say Advanced Warfare because I thought Advanced Warfare was literally a movie. That story, that campaign was a movie. It felt like I was playing a movie. Um, that and then secondarily, Infinite Warfare did have me crying over a robot. Not really crying, but like I shed a tear for a robot. Um,
You can get away with Advanced Warfare, I think, but the thing is that like if you want that story, it's different with the first three because they're so cinematic. Whereas
Yeah.
Advanced Warfare, I don't know. I just don't feel like that one is like as necessary. But that one is like a good fourth one if you want to like separate from the Modern Warfare franchise and you create like a fourth one in general. That's fine. But I don't know.
Yeah. I have not much more to say until I start seeing some actual teaser trailer and images from set.
Yeah, they're going to adapt. They're going to adapt Black Ops. They're going to adapt Infinite Warfare. Like they're going to go through all of them and milk it as far and as much as they can.
If it
but
does
it
good,
is
right.
Sorry, say that one more time.
I mean, if it actually goes well, if this one goes well, if it doesn't, if it flops, then everybody's like, oh, Call of Duty can't be.
It's going to make 500 million or more. I really think it will because if Sheridan is as good as he is, which he is, he's 7 for 7.
Yeah.
There is no reason that he won't adapt the story as is and just add what needs to be added to make it more modern and just do Modern Warfare. And if it is Modern Warfare that he adapts 1 through 3, he's going to have each film is going to be like $1 billion franchise.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think that's where we will.
I just hope he can do it. I am very interested in at least this first one.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't make it into a Fast and Furious franchise like the games.
But they will. They will.
Yeah. I know.
Sad.
Till Disney gets their hands on it. Disney buys Activision.
Yeah, Disney buys Paramount. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Anyway, that is where we will end our second segment. So, coming up after the break, we tell you what you should know before you go. Stick around. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Screen. You made it to segment 3, which, as always, we will go over the rest of what happened this past week. Excuse me, I tried not to cough in the middle of my sentence there. The rest of what happened throughout Hollywood, but in little increments. We'll give you one-off sentences, maybe 2 sentences about what happened, and then after I read all 8 of them, we will go back and we will tell you exactly what interests us about the news from this past week. But before we do that, I want to say thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here, despite me hacking and coughing and trying to survive another episode, or Jake typing on Discord the entire time as we're trying to do our brother. Say what?
I'm helping your brother.
He's helping my brother. Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. We love you. And as always, hit the like, subscribe button. If you're on Spotify, hit the follow button. Leave a comment down below wherever you see this. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And Jake, who are we telling this week? What's our family member?
Let's go with half brother.
Oh.
Not your full brother. Don't worry about your brother. He'll come later.
I have a half brother, fun fact, and I'm trying not to be super mean because he will find this one day.
You ain't told him yet, have
no.
you? Well, now's the time.
He's also like a kid. I don't think he's going to sit down and watch a podcast. But all right, how are you going to tell your half brother? Okay, here we go.
He's gonna come up with a skit.
I do it every week. Older siblings. Okay, I'm speaking to my older siblings out there. You're going to A, walk up to his door or her door, whatever. B, you're going to open the door unprompted, and they're going to turn into you and yell because that's what younger siblings do. They're going to be like, ah! And you're going to be like, yeah, they're going to do that. And you're going to stand there and you're going to throw something at them. It can be as soft as you want it to be. I would prefer it not to be very hard, but you're going to throw something at them. And as it hits them, say it's a pillow, you hit them and they go poof, and they like fly back. They peel it off their face, and written in permanent marker on this coverless pillow, watch Beyond the Screen. And when they look down, you leave. You're gone.
No, you turn the light off.
Yeah, you
leave the door open. Turn the light off, leave the door open.
Yes, you don't shut the door. If they have a TV on, you quickly turn it off. You throw something across the room to make a little mess, and then you leave.
Yep.
And that's what you should do, how you should tell your half sibling.
I mean, regardless of, it could be full sibling at that point. I think we just described the entire sibling.
But no, we're doing specifically say to do this to your half sibling. You could do this to your full sibling after you do it to your half sibling. I don't care about like who you do it to afterwards, but in this instance, it has to be half sibling first. And with that, we're going to go ahead and go on to our third segment. Jake can hear me. You guys can't. I like lean off and I just go, ugh, and I die for a second and then I come right back. We're powering through this, fellas.
We're getting there.
What you should know before you go. Gonna rattle them all off, and then we're gonna get you all out of here. So first, Netflix and Comcast, the parent company of NBC Universal, both officially confirm their interest in a potential purchase of Warner Brothers, as long as the production house is split from Discovery and its cable channels. Neither one of them want any of the TV stuff. They just want Warner, DC, and HBO Max. Netflix and I had this twice. Sorry. Paramount and Amazon make massive cuts to their workforces. Paramount slashes over 1,000 jobs, which was expected after the Skydance merger, and Amazon cuts 14,000 across their entire company. Jake is laughing because he made an edit and it shot up the text I was reading in the middle of a sentence way up the page.
Well. He did really well.
Thank you. Anyway, after the Skydance merger, people expected 1,000 job cut, right? But what they did not expect was Amazon to say we're cutting 14,000 jobs across our entire company, with CEO Andy Jassy citing AI as a main factor. So a lot of people are losing their jobs at Paramount across all of it, whether that's MGM, whether it's Amazon Prime, whether that's just traditional Amazon. One battle after another receives a record 6 nominations from the Gotham Awards. Wake Up Dead Man debuts on Rotten Tomatoes as a certified fresh 94%. Speaking with Variety last week, Sydney Sweeney reveals that she would like to be in Amazon's upcoming 007 adaptation, just not as you might expect, stating, quote, depends on the script. I think I'd have more fun as James Bond, which I think is a joke, but just putting that out there. But she did say she wanted to be James Bond. Continuing, we talked last week a little bit about what appears to be a rumor of Margot Robbie starring in a gender-swapped American Psycho remake, but that was just as stated, a rumor.
The film duped, guys.
We did get duped. The film will not be gender swapped, but it was fun to talk about while we were talking about it. And lastly, legendary composer John Williams is set to score Steven Spielberg's upcoming UFO film. Jake.
I mean, if you weren't excited for a Steven Spielberg, period, if you weren't excited for a UFO film, period, you should be excited for anything John Williams scored. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. The best composer that's ever lived.
Exactly. Yep. I mean, okay, for those out there who do not know who John Williams is, Nate, rattle off some movies that he has scorned.
Scorned. He's scorned. He has scored Indiana Jones, Star Wars.
Yep.
He did Jaws. I'm gonna do some digging because those are like the big ones.
I thought you were on that. I thought you knew more than that. Come on.
I know more than that, but I just
Home Alone.
Yes.
Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Schindler's List. E.T. Harry Potter, 2001. Superman the movie from 1978. Home Alone 2.
He did Hook.
A lot of Harry Potters. Hook. Yeah, right. Saving Private Ryan. Anyway, this guy, as Ryan said, best ever have done it. Best to ever do it right now. I mean, past, present, likely future with this UFO film. So
keep in mind,
Tintin, guys. Tintin was awesome.
Keep in mind, a lot of those that we rattled off were Spielberg. A lot of them weren't, but a lot of them were Spielberg. Yeah. And two, this guy's tried to retire like 3 times, and he just can't turn it off. He can't stay away. His friends come calling, and they're like, Johnny, we're about to score this new film, and he's like, okay. He shows up. He'll have to be
working on something.
Bro will have to be in a wheelchair, unable to lift his hand before he retires from scoring films, because the dude is he is the composer.
Yeah. So there you go. Circling back to, what do I want to circle back to? I guess there's really only one to talk about here is the 007 adaptation, right? And we really sorry that we reported on a rumor. Wake Up Dead Man actually getting certified fresh. I still don't trust critics. Most of the time they flip-flop with audience scores for Rotten Tomatoes. So, and then I had seen something on the 14,000 jobs being cut on Amazon. remember what it was, but there were workers that were there that were getting cut or had seen the job cuts who said it is not an AI thing. And
Interesting.
I don't remember what they had said it actually was, but that is just a cover for what was actually happening. And I think that it's a actually I have no idea. I wish I could pull that up right off the top of my head, but that was an insider. That was just a worker uh, take that it
Hmm.
was not an AI thing.
Interesting.
So we'll
Fascinating.
see. We'll see what's to come with the next big Amazon controversy and or news story
Yeah.
that comes out.
I don't
Whether
know.
or not that's true.
I remember reading about this and like the I got this again from the Daily's newsletter. So it's like they looped them together because they're both happening at the same time. So this was like under one category. But 1,000 jobs is a lot. And then when I got to Amazon, it was 14. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God. So yeah, Amazon, they say it's AI, but as Jake noted, he read somewhere that's saying that was just a cover.
Right.
I think the thing that stands out to me because I think Sydney Sweeney again. I think she was joking. I think it was I read that as sarcastic, just because like there's been reports that Bezos really wants her to be the Bond girl, and that's been a thing for a while now. But it's like it is funny that she's like I want to be James. Like I find that hilarious, and I feel like if we've known anything about the way that she interviews, I feel like that is like how her character is. Like just in reality,
Yeah.
she's very sarcastic. So I feel like that would be, and now coming off of someone who only knows her from like a dude who just watches like interviews, right? So it's like I that's the only way I can come across and say that. But like I don't know, I just don't think that she's being serious when she says that. But the thing that interests me most, and I find it hilarious, is just last week we talked about how Netflix and one of their co-CEOs was like, "We don't merge and acquire. We build from the ground up. It don't matter what you buy. You still have to make." And then the next week they're like, "Yeah, we did the math. We'll put in a bid. Yeah." It's like I just think it's so funny. And obviously they were going to, but it's just funny that like they're like, "Nah, we're not." They do the numbers and they're like, "Actually, what if we make it work?
It's not that bad of an option.
What if we did? What if we did do it?" Hey, can you imagine if Netflix owned HBO?
I no. I don't like to think about that.
I never thought I'd
Frightens
say
me.
this. I never thought I'd say this. Please, Zaslav, just don't sell. Stay where you are. Stay in power, Zaslav. Please, Dave.
Dude,
Please, David
this is
Zaslav.
a guy who does not like
I
Zaslav.
do not like David Zaslav. Please, David, don't sell. Please. I'd much rather have you. I'd much rather complain about you. It's like it's like when you're married and you're like, I'd much rather be agitated by
Actually
you.
have a really good thing going with this person I don't like.
Yeah. I say that sarcastically because I'm in a very happy marriage, but it is funny. It's like old couple, like
Speaking from experience, people.
you anger me, but I don't want to be angered by nobody else.
Dude,
Like
it's
that's
one
how
of them old married couples.
that's how I feel with Dave Zaslav. If I saw him, I feel like we would run to each other in slow mo and meet in the middle with hands fighting. We'd be fist fighting, but we would do it lovingly. Anyway, I'm being very
Right.
sarcastic, but anywho, that is what interests me, and I find that fascinating. That again, of course, Netflix is going to say something in one moment that makes them look good, and the next they're going to be like, they're another one of the big. I love Zaslav. Apparently, me 2025. I don't know if I said I love Zaslav, but like I love him more than I love any of the other options.
Number one, Zaslav Stan.
David
Fine gum.
Zazzy.
No, not Zazzy.
Oh, that's so
man.
funny. Anyway, anything else we want to tell the lovely people before we let them go?
We will have trailers this week. Trailer reactions. First separate episode of trailer reactions. I don't know if it's going to be a bonus, a special.
I don't know.
I think it's just going to be 3. Right? We're going to do 3 full-length trailers. Only on YouTube, all right? Or are we going to publish
Only
on Spotify?
exclusively on YouTube. We will save this
Exclusively on
one.
YouTube. Go watch. We're gonna see if we can't make a name for ourselves in the trailer review world.
The reactor space,
Yeah,
fellas.
our takes hot enough
Beyond the
shall see.
trailer will hit hard.
on the trailers.
Yes, yes. Beyond the Trailers hits hard. We would love to see you over there. If you're one of our 40% who find our show because of our trailer reactions, stop panicking. We know we're not doing trailers in our normal episode. It's
Getting
coming
there.
back. It's coming back. Coming.
And if you watch enough, we'll do it more frequently.
Yes. It's all on you. We blame you. Guys.
It's all your fault.
Yeah, it's all your fault. But anyway, come back. We will discuss our Beyond the Trailer in the coming days. So with that will end our episode of Beyond the Screen. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you guys. First off, we'll see you guys later this week, but we'll see you guys next week if you don't watch us on the trailers. Goodbye.